There's a good chance you yawn before this is over. Not because you're tired, not because you're bored, but simply because I keep saying the word, yawn. Just reading it, just thinking about it, just picturing someone's mouth stretching wide can be enough to set it off. The urge is already building, isn't it? A faint pull at the back of your jaw. And if you saw someone across the room do it right now, you'd almost certainly do it too. Helplessly, automatically, without deciding to. But the real answer is far stranger than tiredness. Contagious yawning, the way a yawn jumps from one person to another like a spark across a gap, is not really about sleep or oxygen at all. It is a visible trace of one of the deepest and most invisible systems in your brain. The machinery that secretly links your mind to the minds of everyone around you. The reason you catch a yawn is the same reason you wince when someone else stubs their toe. The same reason a room full of laughter pulls a smile onto your face. And once you understand it, you'll see that the boundary between you and other people is far thinner and far stranger than you ever assumed. Let's start with the yawn itself, because even a solitary yawn is a small mystery. For a long time, the common explanation was that yawning boosts oxygen, that you yawn when your blood is low on it and high on carbon dioxide. It's a tidy story. It's also probably wrong. When researchers had people breathe air with different oxygen levels, it didn't reliably change how much they yawned. The oxygen theory, the one most people still believe, doesn't hold up well under testing. A more promising idea is that yawning helps regulate the temperature of your brain. Your brain is a hot, energy-hungry organ, and it works best within a narrow temperature range. The deep inhale of a yawn, along with the powerful stretch of your jaw, increase blood flow and draws in cooler air, which may help cool the brain down, like a radiator kicking on. This is why you might yawn when you're drowsy or just waking up, moments when your brain temperature and arousal levels are shifting. So a yawn, on its own, may be a kind of thermostat, but that explains the solitary yawn. It does not explain the contagious one. It does not explain why the sight, the sound, or even the mere idea of someone else yawning reaches across the space between you and pulls the same response out of your body. Cooling your own brain is a private affair. So why would it spread? To answer that, we have to talk about one of the most remarkable discoveries in modern neuroscience. In the 1990s, researchers studying the brains of macaque monkeys found something they did not expect. There were certain neurons that fired when a monkey performed an action, reach for a peanut, say. That part was no surprise. But those very same neurons also fired when the monkey simply watched someone else reach for a peanut. The brain cell did not distinguish, in that moment, between doing and seeing. These became known as mirror neurons. And their discovery, associated with researchers like Giacomo Rizzolatti, cracked open a profound question. What if part of how you understand other people is by secretly simulating them inside your own brain? Here's the idea in its full strangeness. When you watch another person do something, your brain doesn't just observe it like a camera. It partially reenacts it. It runs a quiet internal copy of the action, using some of the very same circuitry it would use to perform that action yourself. To understand a smile, some part of your brain faintly smiles. To understand a reach, some part of your brain faintly reaches. You comprehend other people not by co-analysis, but by becoming a little bit like them. By mirroring them inside yourself, below the level of awareness. Contagious yawning may be one of the clearest, most visible outputs of this mirroring system. When you see someone yawn, your brain runs its internal simulation of yawning. And sometimes that simulation is strong enough to spill over into the real thing. You don't decide to yawn. The yawn is, in a sense, an echo, the visible ripple of your brain having quietly tried on someone else's state from the inside. You caught their yawn the way you would catch the meaning of any action, by simulating it, except this time the simulation leaked out into your own body. And this connects contagious yawning to something far larger and more important. The same basic machinery, the capacity to mirror and internally simulate others, is thought to be a foundation of empathy. Consider the evidence. Studies have repeatedly found that contagious yawning is linked to how strongly we connect with others. You're more likely to catch a yawn from someone you're close to, a friend or family member, than from a stranger. Emotional closeness increases the contagion. And young children whose capacity for empathy is still developing tend not to show contagious yawning until around the age of 4 or 5, right around the time other social and empathetic abilities are coming online. The threads keep pointing in the same direction. Catching a yawn is entangled with your ability to feel connected to other minds. This reframes the whole thing. That little involuntary yawn is not a quirk. It is a tiny, visible demonstration that your brain is constantly, automatically syncing itself with the people around you. You are not nearly as separate from others as you feel. Your nervous system is quietly resonating with theirs all the time, catching their states, simulating their actions, blurring the line between their experience and yours. And almost all of it happens far beneath your notice. Think about how often this is running, invisibly, every day. You stand near someone tense, and your own shoulders tighten. Someone near you starts laughing, and a laugh bubbles up in you before you even know what's funny. A friend describes a painful injury, and you flinch. You actually feel a phantom echo of it. A baby's cry tightens something in your chest. These are not separate quirks. They are all expressions of the same deep truth, that your brain is built to catch the states of other brains, to dissolve just slightly the wall between self and other. The yawn is just the one example obvious enough to see with your own eyes. There's something almost beautiful in this when you sit with it. We tend to imagine ourselves as sealed, separate units, each locked inside our own skull, looking out at others we can never truly reach. But contagious yawning is a small, daily piece of evidence that this isn't quite true. There are invisible bridges between us, running constantly, carrying states back and forth below the threshold of awareness. When you catch a yawn from across a room, you are, for a brief moment, neurologically synced with another person. Their state became your state, with no words, no contact, no conscious choice at all. So the next time, you feel that familiar pull at your jaw because someone nearby surrendered to a yawn. Don't fight it, and don't dismiss it. Recognize it for the small marvel it is. In that instant, your brain reached silently across the space between you and another human being, ran a quiet simulation of their inner state, and let it surface in your own body. You weren't copying them. For just a moment, some part of you became them. You came here wondering why a yawn is contagious. But the real answer was never about being tired. It was about the astonishing, invisible web that connects every mind to every other mind nearby. The constant, unconscious mirroring that lets you understand, feel, and resonate with the people around you. The yawn is simply the thread loose enough to tug on, and when you do, the whole hidden fabric of human connection comes up with it, revealing that you were never quite as alone inside your own head as you believed.